between the visiting Hamilton Cardinals and your Guelph. Leading off the left fielder, number 19,
Game one of the postseason.
second, the shortstop, number 12.
And the Hamilton Cardinals, Guelph, finishing second in the IBL standings after that Game 43 showdown. About 30 minutes ago, that took all 9 innings to decide it. Nail it, unfortunately, for the Royals, coming up just 1 run short. However, pretty darn good record against the Hamilton Cardinals in the regular season. 5-1, they owned the season series.
The Royals, you know, they had the Cardinals number this year, but the Cardinals have played them tough all year long. A couple of close games, of course, down at Bernie Arbor Stadium. Here at Hastings Stadium, it's a different story. The Royals have definitely got a wider margin as far as the run differentials here. But yes, that's the choice tonight. And of course, we're playing at home. The Royals with the home field advantage in the quarterfinal series, so they definitely get to exercise the home field advantage and hopefully get off to a good start tonight with a capacity crowd.
The same song and dance for the Cardinals against the Royals here in Guelph. Guelph have run every single team out of the building so far this season, 19-2 at home in the regular season. And if you joined us just a few moments ago, a very, very special moment for a very special friend, player, and father and husband, Sean Riley, being presented with a one-of-a-kind kind of plaque. And a running joke at the Goon Saloon is add it to the shrine. And that one, my friend, will be in the front and center of that back room at the Goon Saloon. And rightfully so. Sean Riley, the all-time leader in hits, RBIs, and home runs, a 3-time Gold Glover, a numerous-time MVP, and again, just one heck of a leader for this Royals team. Perhaps maybe not the season in terms of output that you would have hoped for Riley in his swan song, but all things considered, taking a bigger role with his son Aiden's baseball team and coaching, also on the Toronto Fire Department. So a lot of other plates spinning in the air for the Royals designated hitter, and the all-time greatest hitter in the history of the IBL, Riley, will be a very big part of the series and a big part of this Royals lineup. As I mentioned, again, he will be the designated hitter, which has been a mainstay for Riley so far this season. A few games at the one bag, but otherwise, DH all the way. Dalton Pompey, Connor Morrow, and Josh Garton will lead it off for the Royals in the home half of the inning. However, before that, Neil, the top half of the inning will see a few Hamilton Cardinals that have kind of given a few Royals pitchers some nightmares. Mainly the guy in the 2-hole, Louis Jean.
Yeah, Louis Jean has definitely been hitting well. Lane Renault's been hitting well against the Cardinals as well. As we'll come and take a break as they come out for the national anthems here.
Fans, at this time, will you please rise if you're able?
A heartfelt national anthem in front of a packed Hastings Stadium crowd. Number at the gate so far before first pitch, over 1,000 fans already through. That number rising and rising quickly. And something of note that we picked up on here from the booth during that anthem, Sean Riley and Dalton Pompey in a shoulder-to-shoulder, over the arms, or over-the-shoulder embrace, and really showed some unity. And on a night where Sean Riley is pretty much announced that he will not be back next season, Dalton Pompey unlikely to return. Both of these guys, it means so very much to them to win not only this game, not only this series, but a championship in very, very different ways. Riley has spent his entire career here. Pompey obviously looking to rebuild and get back to the majors where he had so much effectiveness and success with the Blue Jays just 6 seasons ago. And at 29 years old, far from done, and it could be just a few months from now that we see him back in the bigs, and Pompey will lead off for the Royals, but will also play center field where he's been a mainstay. And after a few blips on the radar in the early going of the season, a few lazy fly balls that were maybe not tracked so well, he has been automatic out there quarterbacking the outfield. And that foot speed of Pompey is not only dangerous on the base path, but he can take a ball that would be a single or maybe more away with a very, very, very quick route to that ball and a heck of an arm to boot. So Pompey, one big part of this Royals lineup and defensive team that has just been so very good, so very often. and so very efficient in Claudio Custodio, obviously a huge part of that. Custodio obviously not getting a start tonight. Thursday night was a full plate of work for the Royals ace and likely the IBL's MVP. Custodio recording his 200th or 200th, I'm not even sure how to say that, strikeout of the season, far and away an IBL record. 8 innings of work, and Louis Jean getting loosened up here and really starting to enjoy himself. And the Cardinals look primed to kind of get to Nunez real quick, who comes out to perhaps one of the most energetic walk-up songs in the league. And this Royals team, Justin Terrasano will man first base. I actually bumped into Vinny and Terrasano at the Cudler residence a little earlier this afternoon. We had a charity golf tournament for the Hopewell Homes that support a lot of young children in our community that need so very much looking after, and that money and that support goes such a long way in making their lives so much better. So a shout out to the Cudler family and all the boys watching from the Cudler residence this evening. Vinny and Terrasano in attendance, and Justin and Terrasano, as mentioned, will man first base for the Royals. Josh Garton will play second, Connor Morrow at short. Malik Collymore round out the infield at third. At the hot corner, Brendan Keys behind home plate. Jeffrey Nunez will get the start. Ethan Hammond in left field. Dalton Pompey, as mentioned, in center. And J.D. Williams out in right. It is that A-plus lineup from Dino Ramel that we've seen just a few times so far this season that has been near flawless. Will be on the field yet again for Game 1 of this best-of-5 series. And it'll take every single Hamilton Cardinal in the dugout and in the lineup to find a way to try to steal Game 1 here, which has been next to impossible for any visiting team all summer long, as we are just about set to make it official. They go around the horn one more time, and we will get ready to get underway as Dennis DeBang will step in to officially start the 2022 playoffs for the Royals and the Cardinals. Louis Jean loosening up. He will be next. He's on deck, and a heck of an athlete and a heck of a batter, and he can really get it done on both sides of the baseball. So obviously priority number 1 is keeping him off the base path for Jeffrey Nunez, Dino Ramel, and the rest of the Royals. Much like the other 8 batters in the Cardinals lineup, that one misses from Nunez after the first one was fouled off. The count is 1-1. Pardon me, they called it a strike. It's 0-2. And the Let's Go Royals chant start early and loudly. 0-2 from Nunez. Misses low and outside. It's now 1-2. Nunez, who settled in here the early parts of August, has really started to find his groove. A few short outings, Neil. A couple 4-inning appearances rather for him, but he'll be relied upon now to be maybe the number 2 starter for this team behind Claudio Custodio, and likely expected to go much deeper than 4 innings when he does get the nod on the bump for the Royals, as that one misses 3 straight balls, runs the count full. It's 3-2.
Nunez is just a little too excited right now. He's just got to take a breath out here and just remind himself, hey, I've done this many, many times before.
That one fouled off, so we'll do it again. And yeah, Nunez is that guy. He's energetic, and he really he'll quick pitch, and he will keep the tempo of this ball game going. But we did see a few innings of work from him where he really slowed it down, and rightfully and understandably so, maybe a little excited here. The first batter he's facing in his IBL playoff career. And a loud, energetic crowd cheering him on. The payoff coming yet again. Delivered. Swung on and missed. 1 down.
That's the start the Royals needed here, just to relax the crowd and get the crowd behind them anyways.
Number 12, Louis Jean.
And Louis Jean coming to the plate, that makes it even more important that there's no one aboard. And as you mentioned, Nunez maybe a little bit excitable to start that at bat, but getting that first out really makes a difference for a pitcher's mentality, and with Jean to the plate, getting another one would only do wonders for Nunez's confidence here. Jean can really swing the bat, and if he gets one in the air anywhere away from an outfielder, he will make it into 2 bases easily. Looks at a first pitch strike from Nunez, who perhaps has got those early game jitters shaken out already. Keys and Nunez appear to be on the same page in the early going. That one misses, and trying to see if Jean will chase. He did not. Count is now even at 1-1. Again, Interessano at first, Garton second, Morrow short, Collymore at third. Jean to Garton at second, might have a play on it, just can't come up with it, and Louis Jean is aboard with a 1-out single to perhaps make something happen in the early going. And as every visiting team in the Hastings Stadium has learned so far this summer, it takes a village, and it takes a village to get going early. And Tyler Duncan will follow Louis Jean, and obviously well aware of the importance of this at bat as early as it is in this series, as early as it is in this ball game. Duncan looks at one. Nunez paints the outside corner for a strike. Nunez checks Jean, who's always a threat to steal. Garton well off second base, but Morrow quick on his feet. He'll be on his toes if Jean does decide to take off. That one low and outside to even the count at 1-1 between Duncan and Nunez. Jean bluffed his way to second, but Duncan looked at a pitch that was a called strike. It's 1-2, and Jeffrey Nunez, a ground ball away from perhaps getting out of this inning in quick fashion. Nunez checks Jean at first, delivers to Duncan, misses. It's 2-2. Garton made a heck of a play to try to get Jean on that ground ball, but it just squeaked through him, and no fault of number 15 for the Royals, but Jean takes off for second. Duncan swings at one and slices it foul, so Louis will have to do a 180 back to first, but he had a heck of a jump on that one. Duncan obviously protecting the strike zone with 2 strikes. Had to swing at that one, but Jean would have been into second easily. Jean is just such an intriguing player to watch. Long strides like a gazelle on the base path, and again, that power from the Cardinals shortstop only makes him that much more valuable. Nunez, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I'm checking you at first. Jean back in time. Nunez obviously now well aware of Jean's desire to take second. Delivers. Duncan gets a hold of one to center. Pompey has a beat on it. Falls at the warning track, and Dalton may be hurt. That is going to be a triple, and Pompey won't even make the throw. What is going on in center field for the Royals? Tyler Duncan, an inside the park home run. Dalton Pompey all but gave up on that one.
Actually, that went over the fence there, and it just bounced off the top of the batter's eye, so that is a home run. Pompey did take a misstep out in center field, though, and looks like he's just shaking it off. It's 2-0 for the Cardinals here early.
Third baseman, number 6, Lane Renault.
A mistake that just cannot be made. 2-0 Cardinals after that gaffe from the Royals center fielder. That one swung on and hit deep to Pompey at center again. This time makes the catch for out number 2, much to the pleasure of the Hastings crowd.
The catcher, number 50, Ryan Burnside.
Ryan Burnside with 2 gone will make his way to the dish, his first appearance of the night. And Hamilton with that cozy 2-0 lead. And Burnside looking to keep this top of the first inning alive with some good fortune here. Nunez shaking it off and then delivers. Misses 1-0. Burnside pulls one to right. J.D. Williams under it, makes the catch for out number 3, but not before the Cardinals get out to an early 2-0 lead. We are halfway through 1 inning here from Hastings Stadium. We're off to the home half of the first with Dalton Pompey. Connor back to Hastings Stadium for the bottom of the first inning. And my mistake, fans, that ball actually did go over the wall and come back into play. Once again, my eyes deceived me, and Dalton Pompey, I apologize, as that was clearly a home run and apparent to just about everyone up here in the press box except for myself. Nonetheless, 2-0. Cardinals and Pompey leading off. The count is now 1-1. That one in there for a strike, and same old story for Pompey. Nothing doing in terms of favorable calls around the strike zone, so he does it himself. A chopper to second. Can he get there in time? They get him on a 4-3 putout, and it was bang, bang. Unfortunately for the Royals, Pompey just a step late. 1 down. And Connor Morrow on his way to the plate. We were having a bit of technical difficulty with our scoreboard. We apologize for that, and we'll get that fixed as quickly as possible with 1 down. Connor Morrow in the box. Josh Garton on deck. Malik Cullymore in the hole. Morrow looks at one for a ball. Sam Turcotte on the mound for the Cardinals. Morrow back up the middle. That'll be a base hit. Connor Morrow just finds a way time and time again to get it done. Exhibit A right there. as the Royals' shortstop finds his way to first base with a 1-out ground ball single through the gut. And Old Town Road blaring through the speakers of Hastings Stadium means one thing and one thing only. Josh Garton will step in here looking to tie the game with one good swing of the bat.
Garton and the Royals held to just 3 hits on Thursday night. We're definitely looking to get the bats going in full swing tonight here.
Yeah, that was a pitcher's duel of all pitchers duel back on Thursday. So a lot of Royals batters that are hungry here tonight and looking to blow the doors off this Hastings Stadium crowd and try to get themselves a Game 1 win. That one in the dirt, but stays in front of the catcher.
I don't think the field's ever looked this good, to be honest with you. It just looks immaculate. The city of Guelph has really, really done a great job tonight. Even just the smallest little details all over the place.
Yeah, different cut in the middle of the infield, and the mound even looks a little bit like it's got a facelift. And absolutely good point, Neil. It looks its absolute best it has all summer long, and that is saying something, as we have been spoiled here at Hastings Stadium all summer with these home games. And Garton chops one. First base line. Turcotte will record the out unassisted. 2 gone, but Connor Morrow on his way to second in there safely. Morrow in scoring position from Malik Collymore, who at certain times for this team was their very best hitter and then would go through these slumps that didn't last so very long, but a guy that you can really rely on, and when he gets going and gets out of that mini funk that he sometimes would fall into, a very reliable cleanup hitter. And I think perhaps maybe 1 or 2 games that was it, that he did not find himself in the 4-hole for this Royals lineup.
Yeah, it was very rare not to see him in that spot here, and he gets one back to the second baseman, and it's going to be fielded cleanly. And the Royals go down quietly here, leave a running aboard here.
So it's 2-0 Hamilton through 1 inning of play here. We will be back with the top of the second after this. Top of the second inning at Hastings Stadium, 2-0 Hamilton. Jeremy Veilleux will lead it off for the Cardinals that found that 2-0 lead by way of the home run in the opening inning, and Guelph went quietly. 3 outs on 4 batters. Connor Morrow left stranded at second. Back in the top of the first as Nunez misses big time there in the dirt. 1-0. They swings and pulls one to left. That one will find the gap and land just shy of the wall. Hammond picks it up. Morrow, the cutoff man, will hold Veilleux at second, but the Cardinals getting to the Royals real quick and real often so far, Neil.
Well, just might be a little bit of nerves here tonight, too, that the ball's up with Nunez. Hasn't pitched in over a week, too. That might be the second factor.
And so obviously hindsight being 2020, that game against London back on Thursday, yes, obviously you want to finish first. But does it make you kind of go, the fact that Claudio Custodio not only pitched 8 innings, obviously it was a duel and not a game that was decided by any stretch of the imagination until the very end. But Custodio also DHing in that game, and that is a...
He's thrown out, trying to steal third on the delayed steal there.
Yeah, pardon me, the stanchion right in my line of view, so Neil, good eye on that one. 1 down, and that is huge for the Royals after Veyu was able to get aboard, trying to get a little bit greedy and find his way to third. Gunned down by Brendan Keys and Blake Collymore.
Great job by Brendan Keys there to just hang with that and read the delayed steal and threw it down to Collymore on a strike.
So Robin Fox Pappas now is ahead 2-1 with no one on base. Jacob Underwood loosening up on deck, and McLean Van Ray will be next. That one inside just missed the elbow of Fox Pappas, but it certainly did. So it's 3-1, and Nunez, as Neil mentioned, probably just needs to settle in here and stay on top of the baseball when he delivers. That one misses, and Fox Pappas was certain of it right away and took off for first. He takes his free bag. A 1-out walk will bring Jacob Underwood to the plate.
Right fielder, number 5, Jacob Underwood.
So back to that tiebreaker game. Obviously a game that Dino Ramel and the rest of the Royals definitely wanted to win on the road in London against your rivals, knowing that you were going to have to run through Claudio until it was all but decided. But with a shortened bullpen and a rotation that is maybe up in the air at the moment, does that kind of change the projection for how this Royals first round will play out in terms of the pitching situation?
Well, it means Claudio's probably not going to be available till Game 3, which is Tuesday night. So the Royals are going to have to rely on some other guys. Brandon Deans is expected to get the call tomorrow. So as Nunez is going to get a visit from manager Dino Ramel here.
And perhaps just a method to calm him down, as he does seem a little bit out of sorts on the mound. And Brandon Deans has done a great job as that setup man, but then that takes that 8th inning guy away from this bullpen, and it is the nature of the beast with guys going back to school, so on and so forth. It really kind of makes it a manager's duel when it comes down to how you're going to deploy your personnel throughout a baseball game. And for Nunez, his job tonight is to go deep and efficiently go deep, and right now he needs to find a way to get on top of the baseball and find a way to get some outs and get some outs quickly here with a 2-0 deficit to at least try to hold on to and then allow his lineup to erase in the bottom half of the inning. 2-0 coming. Nunez doesn't get the call. It's 3-0.
It's almost like he's not finishing these pitches. Everything seems to be up in the zone right now.
Yeah, again, staying on top of the baseball if you're Nunez. That one gets the call and brings the hands of Hastings Stadium together. It's 3-1. Man at first, 1 down, top of second. That one also gets the call. The count is now full. Paint the outside corner, the outside part of the plate, Jeffrey Nunez. Checks over at first, and Terrasano swiped at his man, but just a little behind. He is back in time, is Fox Pappas. Hastings crowd getting into it now. 3-2, swung on and fouled straight back into the parking lot. We'll do it again. Nunez now taking his time between pitches. We didn't see that so very often earlier in this game. 3-2 coming, swung on and poked to left field. Hammond underneath it, makes the catch for out number 2. Fox Pappas will remain at first. McLean Van Ray, the number 9 hitter, making his way into the box, and will try to find a way to keep this inning alive.
He made his Cardinals debut, I believe, 2 weekends ago, and just been on like gangbusters ever since.
And again,
the Hamilton Junior team.
Swings at the first offering from Nunez to no avail. It's 0-1. It's a good sign of confidence from Jeffrey Nunez on the mound for the Royals to go right at Van Ray, who, as Neil mentioned, has been lights out at the plate since joining this team. And one fouled straight back, just a split second late, and maybe perhaps a hair low on the swing. And all of a sudden, Jeffrey Nunez is one more good strike away from getting out of this inning. And you can tell it's playoff time here in Hastings, Neil. This crowd full of energy already. That one dances back in over the plate. Strike 3, looking. Jeffrey Nunez, talk about composure. Gets himself out of that mini jam. It's 2-0 Cardinals. We're off to the bottom of the second. Sean Riley will lead it off.
Intercounty Baseball's all-time leading hit leader, number 33, Sean Riley.
Bruce Barker brought the harmonics. The fans bring the noise, and Sean Riley making his way to the plate for the first time tonight. Unofficially, the second time our pregame ceremony honoring the IBL's leader in hits, home runs, and RBIs after unofficially announcing that this will be his final season. Riley looks at one. That misses, and that is a favorable call to make it 1-0. Riley and the Royals will take it. Turcotte will have to give Riley his best here now. Riley looks at one, and that's a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Count is now even.
Somebody clearly bumped the camera there. Now it's all sideways.
Hastings crowd is loud, energetic, and boisterous so far, and we're only in the bottom of the second. Our cameras are feeling the wrath. Turcotte missed on that one, so it's 2-1. Riley steps out, takes his time, resets. Winds the clock, steps in, swings, and oh my, he wanted it. Just a split second late on that one, fouls it back behind the grandstands, and count is now even at 2-2. And Sean Riley, a guy who is confident and really, really likes to perform in big game situations. On a night where he was honored with his family, Lauren, his wife, Ryan, and Aiden, his daughter and son, at home plate before this game. He wants to put an exclamation point on this performance tonight to make this night very special for him and his family and this team. So watch for Big 33 to be swinging the bat at anything close. And as we've seen time and time again over the past few decades, actually, it doesn't take much for him to put it over the wall. The count is full. 3-2. Turcotte delivers. Riley takes it, and he is aboard with a lead-off walk.
The right fielder, number 9, J.D. Williams.
J.D. Williams up next. Justin and Terrasano now on deck, and this heart of the lineup is a difficult one for opposing pitchers. Williams with quite a bit of pop in that bat, but a great amount of speed as well, sandwiched in between Riley and Terrasano. So if you don't get one of them, it can be a domino effect that might last forever. Turcotte gets the call on that one. It's 0-1. So for Sam Turcotte right now, I think the mission is to get a ball on the ground and try to get Riley at second and then turn 2 for Williams, which would be easier said than done. Williams fouled that one off, so it's 0-2.
They're being very methodical as how they're pitching these batters, that's for sure. They're definitely not going outside of their comfort zone. Turcotte's definitely been sitting here inside a lot more to start this game anyways.
As
That
Williams
one's coming
pokes
outside
one
part of the
through.
plate, and Williams pushed this one through the hole.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Neil. You can kind of feel a very different vibe compared to Jeffrey Nunez on the mound and Sam Turcotte. It is much more structured from the Hamilton Cardinals starter tonight compared to Nunez on the mound. So we'll see if that can kind of change as this game goes on. But before we see that, there's 2 on, no one gone for the Royals' first baseman, Justin Terrasano. Terrasano has made great contact at times this season, just has not been rewarded perhaps as often as he should have been due to the baseball gods. Terrasano shows bunt.
Not a bad idea here, especially when we got Keys and you got Hammond coming on deck. You just got to get these guys in scoring position and just get back in this game. You don't have to get them both back on one swing of the bat here. It'd be nice if you did, but you don't have to get them both back. Just get yourself on the scoreboard. Give your teammates a chance to do something in here.
Yeah, great. And it caught the Cardinals off guard for sure, as Terrasano was able to pull back on that first pitch to make it 1-0. Holds off on that one. It's 2-0.
Now the third baseman has to come in here and just protect the line a little more, down on the edge of the grass.
Man, as we've jokingly mentioned a number of times this season, Sean Riley has as many stolen bases as he has home runs. And Terrasano, that ball had eyes. It found its way on that Hastings hop. Just stole Neil Sriwasa's punchline. Found its way through McLean Van Ray. Bases are now loaded. No one out. Brendan Keys coming to the plate. And a catcher that can really, really, really provide some offensive punch. Has a real big chance to do just that here in the bottom of the second. Nowhere to put him. No one gone. Turcotte delivers the first pitch of the at-bat. Keys looks at it. It's outside, 1-0. A big hole between center and right, so we'll see if Keys can try to pull one that way. That's a called strike.
I almost want to get a mic on that guy down in the front row one of these days, just so
That
everybody
one
else
was
can hear
there.
it.
And another new one, what in the name of Yogi Berra was that? I wonder if he writes them down before games and practices them in the mirror, kind of like I do with my home run calls and my non-home run calls, even with Dalton Pompey.
Yeah.
2-1 after Keys looked at another one off the plate. Swings, and he wanted it but couldn't get it. 2-2. Ethan Hammond on deck, and one of those guys that you just love to have up next if you're Dino Ramel. Hammond, a formidable hitter in all situations. Keys to third. This could be 2. They get Riley at home. Keys is gunned down at first to turn 2. What a play. 5-2-3 double play.
The left fielder, number 28, Ethan Hammond.
So still 2 on, both in scoring position, and Terrasano at second. Williams at third. Ethan Hammond with a chance to chip away at this 2-0 Hamilton lead, and Dalton Pompey will follow if Hammond can get the job done. Sam Turcotte has done a great job of bending but not breaking so far in this second inning. Although not very many first pitch strikes from Turcotte so far, so we'll see how that affects the game as we move forward. 1-0 from Turcotte coming. Hammond swings at it, and it might find a hole in right field. No. The fans thought it. I thought it. It did not ring true. Jacob Underwood right underneath it to make that catch look easy, and the threat from the Royals that looked so very promising to start. It's 2-0 Hamilton through 2 innings from Hastings Stadium. Dennis DeBanning will lead it off for the Cardinals here as we're back to the top of the order. Hamilton with that 2-0 lead. Louis Jean up next. DeBanning swings and misses from the first offering from Nunez. Good first pitch throw-in from the Royals starter. It is 0-1 now. That one, a very, very different delivery than the previous pitch. Not sure quite what happened on it, but nonetheless, the count is now 1-1. DeBanning looks at one that is low. Good eye. It's 2-1. And this Royals team doesn't quite seem to have that funk and pizzazz that they had all season long here at home so far tonight. DeBanning fouls one off to even the count at 2-2. Nunez didn't like that ball, so he trades it out for another one, and the count even. The Hastings hands come together. Nunez gets the one he likes from Keys and delivers it. Punched out, looking. Strike 3 from Jeffrey Nunez, and that's what this guy can do for Guelph, is just sneak some strikes in there, and all of a sudden those Ks pile up, and as do the outs, and DeBanning left shaking his head as he walks back to the dugout, and Louis Jean will fill the void in the batter's box. As he gets set and reset and comfortable in there and ready to go for his second appearance of the evening at the plate. He singled and later scored on that home run. Opened the scoring for the Cardinals, which they have that comfy 2-0 lead, but no such lead is comfy in baseball, especially come playoff time. 1-0 coming from Nunez inside. Jean with a bit of a sell job, and not sure when the Oscars are due up next, but Louis Jean might be nominated on that one, but got the job done. It's 2-0. That pitch was definitely inside, and a ball, and called that way. Jean gives a bit of a head snap back again, but that's a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Not sure what the game plan was with that one, but nonetheless, 2-1. Nunez delivers. Jean fouls it off. He cut at that one and was just behind it. Two coming ever so soon. Tyler Duncan, who did go deep his first time out, on deck. One gone here. Jean readjusts, as does Nunez. And they are both ready to do it one more time. John sliced that one foul and out of play, so same old story. We will reset and try to do it again. Jean very active in and out of the batter's box between swings. Takes a good 360-degree loop behind home plate, takes his helmet off, readjusts his shoulder, or his sleeves rather, batting gloves, and so on and so forth, and very active in the box as well, as you can see. That one sliced to Interessano, 3 unassisted for out number 2.
Great play by Interessano to stick with that one.
The center fielder, number 55, Tyler Duncan.
Almost dropped down. He was going to make the pad save on it.
That is the former catcher at work at first base for the Royals. Got right in front of that one. There was no way he was letting it get past him or through him. Made it look easy for out number 2, did Interessano.
Of course, Nunez now at 45 pitches to this point here, so not overly concerned yet, but, you know, it might as well, as later stages in this game go on, we might be going to the bullpen a lot earlier than we want it to be.
46 pitches now through 2 2/3, and yeah, that number will climb and climb quickly, and all of a sudden you will see action in that bullpen. Perhaps a little earlier than you would have liked if you're a Royals fan. 47th pitch of Nunez's evening is also off the plate to make it 2-0 with 2 gone.
Well, the pitch that Duncan hit over the fence for a home run was just a ball, a waist-high fastball that missed in the zone, and that one's hit foul. So maybe Nunez and Keys are doing a little bit more concerted effort not to make sure anything's in Duncan's wheelhouse, because that kid can definitely swing the bat here.
Yeah, as was put on display back in the first. One chop foul, and the count's now even at 2-2 with 2 gone. Nunez, a strike away. Lane Renault on deck. Nunez hoping not to have to see him for a while. That will be determined based on this next pitch. 2-2 coming. Duncan pulls one to right. Williams on it. Can't come down with it. Made a jump at the ball. Guns him at second. Not in time. Tyler Duncan on his feet into second base. A valiant effort from J.D. Williams in right, but just unfortunately off the tip of the glove. And Tyler Duncan is finding a way to get it done here. And
he's hitting missiles tonight, that's for sure.
Absolutely, and he was very impressive in every single game we saw him here in the regular season. But I know we're only through 2 at-bats for Duncan, but this might be his night and his best night here at Hastings all summer. Home run, 2 RBIs, and a double to go with it now. Nunez misses low, 1-0. That one
popped up. Williams doesn't quite have a beat on it now. And Interessano points it in the right direction of it, and he makes the catch there. And the inning's over.
3 down, and a 2-0 lead remains intact for the Cardinals. We're off to the bottom of the 3rd. Bottom of 3, Guelph with that rare 2-0 deficit on home field to try to erase here. And, well, if you want one guy to get it going, it's number 32, the center fielder, Dalton Pompey. Back to the top of the order. Pompey will lead it off in the batter's box at the moment, followed by Connor Morrow and Josh Garton. Yet again, Pompey lays off a borderline pitch that is...
Call the strike.
As sure as the sun will rise, call the strike. Another one, as sure as the sun will set, call the strike. 0-2. Dalton getting no favors, almost like it's back to game 1 of the regular season where he had to establish his own strike zone. 0-2 coming. Pompey doesn't leave it into the umpire's hands. That is a flare to left center field for a leadoff single from the most dangerous base runner in all of the IBL, who will be followed by perhaps the most dangerous shortstop in terms of power, pop, and efficiency at the plate, Connor Morrow. And that is, with all due respect to Louis Jean, who is in short for Hamilton tonight. Morrow, as I've mentioned many times, Claudio Custodio is this league's MVP, but if you ask his teammates, they say Connor Morrow is perhaps their best player. Looks at one low and off the plate, 1-0.
If you're an infielder coming up through the systems, you know, in the house league, minor leagues, baseball, whatever, definitely get following Connor Morrow's his Twitter account. Anyways, he's got lots of great insight, lots of good thought process behind different approaches at the plate as well, and even just some skills and drills out there as well.
Goes to show that he's not just an athlete, but he's a student of the game, and it really, really has paid off in spades for the Royal shortstop as a good eye makes it 2-0. And if you look at Morrow's numbers, as we mentioned time and time again, but because it's the postseason, we'll say it one more time. Numbers to start the season at the plate, not great, but the numbers didn't tell the whole story, and those numbers corrected themselves as the season went on, and Morrow finished with a heck of an average. And
if they kept stats on solid contact, I think Connor Morrow will be leading the league head and shoulders above the rest.
Absolutely, and he's, I don't know if you've realized, but Scott Fraser is the chief and president of the Connor Morrow fan club as he takes a
I'm getting that
walk.
just there.
Was it that obvious?
Yeah. Could have been the button you're wearing too, but I don't know.
Could be the number 2 jersey I'm wearing and all that stuff. I'll leave that one alone before it gets weird. Garton to the plate with no one gone and 2 on, and this is the danger of this Royals lineup. A guy like Morrow and Pompey who are able to just take pitches, and then Pompey swung at one he liked. Morrow looked at all 4 and walked to first. Now, Josh Garton can not only erase this deficit, but give his team the lead pretty easily and pretty often. Turcotte knows that as he checks Pompey at second. Garton takes a strike and looks away in dismay. After that is the first pitch called strike, and he'll take a moment to collect his thoughts and perhaps count to 10 before he steps back in. It's 0-1. That one bounces, and that'll even the count at 1-1. With that 2-0 Hamilton lead, you know Dalton Pompey is thinking about one thing, and it results in 90 feet closer to home plate. Pompey not only a great base runner in terms of speed, but also methodically. If he does decide to try to take third, you'll notice that his jump point and when he takes off is almost impeccably perfect. He'll watch Turcotte's release a few times and then realize when his time to go is and pick his moment like a viper. As Garton waves at strike 3, 1 down. Garton, after that first pitch called strike, seemed to be a little rattled, and it clearly affected the rest of his at-bat. So unfortunate for the Royals and their power hitter that it didn't pay off, but Garton will go back to the dugout and try to do it again in inning or 2. And Malik Collymore, not a bad next option here. Righty on righty, Malik Collymore getting encouragement from all 1,200 Hastings fans in the stands, and add another about 1,500 down the baselines. If my math is correct, that's up to 27 and change. We will get the official number in a few moments, as we're not quite done selling tickets yet. 1-0. Low and not low enough. It evens the count at 1-1. See if Pompey decides to take off here, as Turcotte hasn't really acknowledged him at second, and he's on cue. Collymore down the line and just foul. Royals just seem a little bit off kilter here, and their timing just not quite on, and it leads to would-be hits like that end up foul and send Morrow and Pompey back to where they came from. Second and first they are. 1-2 with one gone here, and Sean Riley on deck. Collymore resets and readjusts the batting gloves. Perhaps a moment just to collect his thoughts as well. Steps back in. Turcotte waiting for the one he likes. Gets it. Sets. Checks. Delivers. Collymore to right field. It's high. Not very deep. Lost in the lights. And that ball just foul yet again. And what do the Royals have to do to get a break here this evening? That one looked like it could have been all kinds of good luck, but it just landed foul, and will send everyone back to first, second, and home plate for Collymore. And it was lost in the lights, but ended up foul, and just one of those things that happens in the postseason. Jean and Pompey having a pleasant conversation out at second. Turcotte waits. Ready to go now. 1-2. Checks Pompey. Delivers to Collymore. Collymore high! Shallow left field. In the lights. It is caught for out number 2. That one was hit a mile high. And it took a ton of foot speed from Banning to come in from deep left field and make that catch, and good on him. Made it look easy as Sean Riley once again celebrated for one of his numerous IBL career records. And a bit of a throwback for Riley tonight. Walk-up song back to Tsunami, as it was for so very many years. See if that can bring the King of Swing some luck and his team some runs here. He walked his first time out. Turcotte obviously very aware of Riley's pedigree and almost has a bit of extra behind him now tonight with his crowd on his side. First pitch swinging to right field again, high in the lights. It might be lost. It falls in there. That'll score a run. Dalton Pompey for one. Connor Morrow held up by Dino Ramel at third, and perhaps very, very wisely so. That ball came back in real quick, Neil, and it would have been a play at the plate. However, Morrow decided to hold up and give J.D. Williams a real chance to drive him and perhaps Sean Riley and maybe all three of them in if things go according to plan. And all of a sudden, the Royals have some life in the bottom of the third.
And if you're the Royals fan, you're hoping that opens the floodgates here as the guys will just settle back down and say, hey, we got this.
You can almost feel a tide turn, and we don't want to speak prematurely, but absolutely we'll see what that does for this team's confidence. And a team that is short on that on no day, they know that they can hit the baseball against any team and hit that ball in bunches once that tide starts turning, and Sean Riley might have just brought the tsunami in with him. Williams checks his swing, doesn't matter, called strike, 1-1. And Terrasano on deck.
Williams singled his last time up, got stranded at second base.
Runners out the corners. Riley takes off for second. That one fouled off by Williams. And mentioned it his first time on the base path. Sean Riley has 3 stolen bases this season, and that was a heck of a lot of foot speed for a guy who's in the glory days of his career. And he was off with first movement. And
I think they caught the Cardinals off guard, too, because I think Turcotte was just saying, okay, it's Riley at first. I'm not worried about him at all. But the infield didn't even move.
And Riley really moved. He was in there safely had Williams held off on that one, and maybe JD wasn't quite sure what Sean was doing, but Riley did that with purpose and conviction and shocked just about everyone except himself.
Well, if Williams makes contact when it puts that one somewhere in the outfield. Riley's got to be able to go first to third on that play anyways.
Especially with all that speed already generated, right? So a head start and a full head of steam. Riley would have been perhaps into third or maybe even home, depending on where that ball would have gone. However, all for naught. It's still 1-2. Riley at first, Morrow at third, 2 gone. Turcotte on the bump. Delivers. Williams chops one, foul. Sam Turcotte's pitch count has to be getting up there into the Jeffrey Nunez numbers, I would imagine, by this point, as Neil will check my estimation on that one. And J.D. Williams with the Hastings hands behind him.
He's at 50 now, so yes, you're not too far off the accurate assessment there.
Broken clock, right twice a day. Turcotte delivers the 1-2. It's high. Count is now 2-2.
And if you're the Royals, you just got to keep chipping away here. You got to get Turcotte to make a mistake. Work the counts.
The more pitches he has to throw, the more opportunities they have to make him make a mistake. And JD chased one high, and that'll do it, leaving 2 runners stranded. The Royals bring one home by way of Sean Riley's single. It's 2-1 through 3 innings from Hastings Stadium. Ryan Burnside will get it going in the 4th inning. The Cardinals with a 2-1 lead that was slashed in half in the bottom of the 3rd after Sean Riley was able to score Dalton Pompey on a single. Royals did leave 2 more runners stranded, which that small village from the regular season continues to turn into a township by this stage of the summer, which quickly coming to a close, and evidently by that sun that sank so very quickly here. About 1 month ago, it would be still hanging fairly high over the grandstands, but it is officially dusk at 8:27 p.m. or 8:34 p.m. as Justin Terrasano records the 3 unassisted first out of the 4th inning. And sure-handed number 24, the Guelph native, has been all over the baseball when it's been hit his way so far this evening. And Jeremy Veilleux, who found his way aboard his first time out and then was caught stealing at third, will likely try to emulate about half of that result from his first appearance.
Took an 0-1 or 1-0 pitch over in the left center last time.
That one misses from Nunez to make it 1-0. And Veilleux, if I'm not mistaken, spends some time behind home plate for the Cardinals when he's not DHing.
Yes.
So gone are the days where your catcher is not much of a hitter, and obviously they have so much to think about in the game, whether it be opposing hitters' tendencies, whatever pitcher they're catching tendencies, but now it's translated into opposing pitchers and opposing catchers' tendencies that results in some good at-bats and some real big numbers for the guys behind home plate that, in my opinion, have the hardest job in sports. Not a call ball
again.
4, and the volunteer umpires in the first row didn't like it, but nonetheless, Jeremy Veilleux trots 90 feet to first base on a 4-pitch walk. Robin Fox-Pappas will look to advance Veilleux here. One gone. With Veilleux at first. Veilleux misses for a ball. And you'd really like to see, Nunez misses for a ball. You'd really like to see Nunez get through this inning quite efficiently for some confidence and just for some stability from their starting pitcher tonight. But now it's 2-0, and Nunez just having trouble generating consistent strikes.
He's definitely battling a lot harder than he has most of the season so far.
Swung on and missed to make it 2-1, and I mean, it's not incorrect, but I think it's very understandable. Nunez, again, just joined this team less than a month ago. It's his first playoff appearance. It's at home. Probably not one he expected to start.
No, well, exactly. You don't expect to suddenly, by the way, you're getting game 1 all of a sudden.
Yeah, and everyone thought that was Claudio's game to have, but obviously due to extenuating circumstances, that was not the fact of the matter. It's 2-2 now for Nunez. That one fouled off straight back. And we might want to check on that camera one more time.
I think we're okay still here so far anyways. We'll put a little wide shot just to make sure.
So 2-2 now. Nunez misses off the plate, but Keys does a good job to make sure that ball goes no further than his catching mitt.
Ground ball would be huge right now, especially if you're able to turn the double play. Get the Royals back on the sticks early here.
Yeah, Fox-Pappas maybe not the fleetest of foot, but pops one to right field. Garton underneath it, makes the catch! What a display of foot speed, athleticism, and coordination from Guelph's very own Josh Garton on that play. Sliding to make the catch and record out number 2.
Jacob Underwood now the batter. He was 0 for 1. He flew it to left field in the second inning.
And the Hastings crowd really appreciated the effort from Garton on that one, who called everyone off from about 40 feet away and slid in there to make the catch and give Jeffrey Nunez a extra out to work with. And now it's 1-0 with 2 gone, man at first. Big hole up the middle of the infield as Garton shifted over to first. Morrow was on his way over to third, so if Underwood can find a way to poke one up the middle and past Nunez, it'll be right down Main Street. That one gets away from Keys, and that will advance the runner. Veilleux to second, and it goes out of play. He wanted third, but no such luck for Veilleux. He's at second and held there.
That'll be a wild pitch. Wild pitch.
So it's 3-0 after that wild pitch, and Nunez just needs to find a way to relocate the zone, and does. It's 3-1.
Looks like he's having problems with one of his pitches out there. I just can't find the grip on it, or just can't find the release point on it, and that's what's causing all the trouble over here right now.
Absolutely, and we're speaking between innings as that is a walk, and now there's runners at first and second. In that golf tournament today, I couldn't find my swing, and I'm still looking for it. I think it was left at home, or might put an Amber Alert or milk carton ad out for it. And
if found, please
if you find it, please call me.
Yeah.
It's not a very good one, but it still wasn't. Forgot it somewhere, some way. That one chopped to Garton at second. Should be an easy out. Number 3 over to Terrasano. It is. Royals bend, but don't break. 2 Cardinals left stranded. It still is 2-1 halfway through 4 innings from Hastings Stadium. Bottom of 4 and a heck of a matchup to kick off the playoffs between the Hamilton Cardinals and the Guelph Royals, and a much closer battle than we've seen in that regular season series that the Royals dominated 5-1.
Yeah, but as far as even when the Cardinals came in here to the one game this year with Aaron Duffy on the hill, this was kind of like the same sort of matchup. It was just really low scoring until the later part of the innings. Once the Royals got into that bullpen, the bats came alive here, and that's what we kind of really have to do with this game tonight as well. Of course, we also want to shout out Dino Romel's biggest fan, his brother Mel, who's watching tonight and wasn't feeling the greatest, but Mel, we're all pulling for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope everything is well with you, sir.
We appreciate the support, Mel, and hope that you can bring us some good luck here and bring the Royals some good luck. Terrasano at 1-1, and the Royals with a 1-run deficit to try to wipe off the board here in the bottom of the 4th. That one misses. It's 2-1. And we were saying between innings, Sam Turcotte, the longer he goes into this game, the longer and harder it gets for the Royals. Turcotte has been dealing.
He'll just continue to gain confidence here as Terrasano pops this one up in the infield. Third baseman is going to make the catch, and there's one away here.
A catch made, but is it me or is it seemingly that those lights are extra deceiving here tonight in the August sky as we get ever so closer to September and those leaves begin to change, and my Crocs might have to be retired for another 4 months or 5 months or maybe just 3 months depending on the day. As Brendan Keys is to the plate with one gone. Keys bunts down the third base line. That's a good one. He's going to find his way aboard. No throw, Brendan Keys. How about that?
Caught him napping at third base and did a number dyer.
The left fielder, number 28, Ethan Hammond.
And this Royals team that has so much power and so much pop, and that Welland Jackfish team that like to play small ball and really found a way to win games that way. It's good to see that from Brendan Keys in the middle of this lineup. If they can continue to do that and just find maybe the less appealing way to win ball games and get on base, that's how you can win games and steal some wins and maybe a championship. Keys at first, one down, Hammond at the plate. Turcotte deals, misses 1-0, and if my math is anywhere close to passable, I would say Turcotte has to be approaching 70 pitches now, and through 3 1/3 innings of work,
he's at 59 now, so
it's technically approaching 70.
It's getting there. If
Now
you round
it's
it up,
60.
maybe.
Now it's 60, and so
Yeah.
halfway between 50 and 70, we round up. 2-0. Steps off and keeps Keys honest at first.
Looking at the out-of-town scoreboard, the Majors are up on Brantford in the 4th inning, 4-0. Maple Leafs taking care of business again here. They beat the Barrie Bay Cats 6-3. And the Welland Jackfish all over the Kitchener Panthers, 7-0. I believe that one's in the 3rd. So it looks like the Panthers' night is going to be over and their season is going to be over tonight, unless that score changes drastically.
Yeah, and of course, obviously due to Mother Nature and scheduling conflicts, a lot of other series in this postseason are well underway. This, obviously, the opening game of this quarterfinal matchup between the Cardinals and the Royals. As Ethan Hammond takes a 4-pitch walk, Brendan Keys will jog to second, Hammond to first. And back to the top of the order, Dalton Pompey. You know how I hate stating the obvious, right? And it just makes me sound like an idiot. And I wouldn't want that ever. This is a really big part of this ballgame.
It is huge right now. We're at the stage, it's not early, it's not late, it's in the middle here, and you really want to change the momentum, and this is probably the time to do it.
Turcotte deals, Pompey swings at one and misses. A 1.
And you got to figure Pompey doesn't want to let the plate umpire Dave Phillips dictate this play here, so Pompey is up there swinging at the first pitch.
That can also be counterintuitive in itself as well, though. So Pompey really took a healthy cut at that one, and one of his greatest assets in the batter's box is his patience. That one in the dirt, but gets no further. So Keys remains at second, Hammond at first. It's 1-1 between Dalton Pompey and Sam Turcotte.
A wild pitch or a pass ball is huge in this situation. It gives Pompey a chance just to hit something through the right side. He's going to tie the ball game.
That one off the plate and call the ball, and rightfully so, it's 2-1. Nervous moments here in Hastings Stadium. You can hear a pin drop. Unless, of course, those hands come together. Turcotte delivers the 2-1. Pompey gets out of the way. 3-1 now, and
I know Sam Turcotte's got to come back in the strike zone, either with a fastball or something about belt tie here. If Pompey gets a hold of it, this could be a different ball game.
We've seen the power recently, and I'd love to see it again here. Pompey pulls one just ahead of it, and my oh my. Laced it down the first base line, but hooked it well foul, maybe a split second or 4 ahead of the pitch, and runs the count full now, 3-2. Keys at second, Hammond at first.
Royals got to remind themselves there's only one away here, so don't take off on the pitch.
Paid off. Call ball 4, bases are loaded. Connor Morrow on his way to the batter's box, but we will have a mound visit for Sam Turcotte and a mini conference as Bruce Barker brings the Hastings crowd to their feet and gets the life flowing through this crowd that again has now eclipsed the 3,000 mark, and it's fantastic to see, Neil. We saw the crowds growing game by game back in May, June, and July even. And since about mid-July, it's been a steady diet of 2,000-plus fans in this park. And tonight, just another night, another Saturday night.
City loves their baseball. There's no question about that, and it's such a great feeling. This brings me back to the early days when I got involved with this team back in 1994, 1995. This place was packed like this coming every night in the playoffs. And they were loud, and they were just behind their boys.
I won't tell you what I was doing in 1994 and 1995. But Connor Morrow on his way into the box, and that walk-up song seemed to be just a little bit louder, and this crowd getting even louder. Morrow swings at one. He wanted it. The crowd wanted it. He was just underneath it. 0-1.
Bullpen will get going down in the Cardinals area. Somebody's taking a stroll down to tell somebody to get loose.
Which is much to the delight of the Royals lineup, as Sam Turcotte, aside from the last few batters he's faced, has been lights out. 0-1 coming from Turcotte. Called strike 2.
Morrow didn't like that one. It looks like it was a little too far out, but the plate umpire gave the call there. And Morrow now has to do the job with an 0-2 count.
Louis Jean out at short. I'm not sure if there was a wasp or something, or just took his hat off and waved it at whatever was bothering him, and it was.
Hopefully it's mosquitoes and not wasps and bees and everything else.
It was emphatic, no matter what. Set up outside. Morrow fights it off to stay alive, and then we'll take a lap and collect his thoughts. And again, all it takes right now is a hit from Morrow.
Should easily bring in Keys from third, obviously, and it might even bring in Hammond from second base here.
Hammond can really move once he gets going, especially. So, yeah, anything deep would bring Hammond home and give the Royals the lead. That one bounces, but stays in front of the catcher to keep all three Royals where they stand. It's 1-2 now.
Looks like they got the Cardinals. They stationed somebody down right underneath that tree down there to maybe relay hand signals as to who's supposed to get warmed up when.
Playing the old game of telephone. Morrow swings and misses at strike 3. Bases remain loaded. And if you want to see a bit of piece of hitting or a good piece of hitting, don't blink. Josh Garton back to the plate. Garton 0 for 2. Struck out swinging his last time out and seemed very frustrated in that at bat. So we'll see if he can.
He's definitely been fighting the baseball the last few games anyways. Definitely in London. He was not happy with his at-bats even though he made solid contact.
Overswinging would be, I think, an accurate statement, and Garton just needs to dial it back here and do what he does best. Lays off one that was well out of the zone. 1-0. And especially in this part of the game where it's bases loaded, 2 out, you need to just be patient. Make Turcotte throw strikes. If he can't, a walk scores a run, and Garton, with that Manny Ramirez-esque swing, evens the count at a ball that was eye high. It's now 1-1.
Sometimes, Josh, a single will do wonders here. You don't have to kill the baseball. It'd be nice if you did, though, but a single would do wonders.
And yet again, having dreams of a home run and a grand slam and a 5-2 lead. Pinch me and wake me up. Oh, it's 1-2 with 2 gone, and now Turcotte's a strike away, and Garton fights it off. Yet again, though, just free swinging and obviously trying to protect the strike zone and keep himself alive, but perhaps maybe just a little bit too much oomph behind it. One and two. Bounces in there, counts now even at 2-2, and this Hastings crowd knows it. Bases are loaded. 2 out in a 2-1 ball game. Malik Collymore would be next. Turcotte delivers. It's high. Count runs full. And man, oh man, don't go anywhere.
Runners be in motion. Garton just needs to make contact here.
The payoff of all payoff pitches so far this season being delivered. Garton fouls it off. This Hastings crowd more vocal than they normally are and really, really cheering on Garton to find a way to put a ball in play and at the very least tie this game. Collymore waiting anxiously on deck. Payoff coming again. Garton swings at one. It's high to right field. It is into foul territory and caught for out number 3. Just not Garton's night so far, as he was just a hair ahead of that ball, and it was a loud fly ball for out number 3. The Royals remain down 2-1 through 4 innings here at Hastings Stadium.
Top of the 5th inning here at Hastings Stadium. O'Neill Sriwastava. Scotty Frazier is going for a little stretch right now. So he gets stuck with me for the next half inning anyways, until he gets back. As Dennis Day Banning will be the batter here. The former Welland Jackfish has definitely been hitting well since he came over. Definitely had the owner excited on social media anyways about this young man's play so far. As he fouls off the first pitch from Jeffrey Nunez. Royals trailing the Cardinals 2-1 here. We're getting closer and closer to Jose Fernandez territory here, if you're a Cardinals fan. Of course, the Royals have not done much against him so far. That's one in for a strike called, and now it's now counted as 1-2. Game 1 of the quarterfinal series between the Royals and Cardinals. A very low scoring, very tight affair so far. Swings and misses at that pitch, and Day Banning goes down on strikes for out number 1. Luis Jean now the batter. Jean is 1 for 2. He singled and scored a run in the first inning. Came home on the home run by Tyler Duncan. Excuse me. And he grounded out to Justin and Terrasano in the third. Royals have loaded up the bases several times tonight, just not been able to get that lucky swing here, as this one is swung on and missed by Jean. And the count is 0-1. Can't see over the Cardinals bullpen. You can see into the fence there, but all you see is bodies all looking over the top of the fence there. The slow roller up the middle, and that's going to go through for a base hit. And the Cardinals have got a runner aboard with one away.
The center fielder, number 55, Tyler Duncan.
Going to bring up the always dangerous Tyler Duncan, who's 2 for 2 in the contest, a home run and a double to this point so far. He's got 2 RBIs. Nunez has not been able to figure out where to or how to pitch to Duncan so far. Everything he's gotten up in the strike zone has wound up either off a fence or over a fence. And it's safe to say Duncan is dialed in as there's a called strike. For strike 1. Nunez throws over again to keep John close. That one sails wide, but great stop by Brendan Keys there to keep it in the zip code. Count is 1-1 to Duncan here. Nunez looks in for the sign. Pitch misses just outside, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Activity starting in the Royals bullpen. Not sure who it is out there. It's a little too far back here in the dark back there to figure out who it is. If we had a telephoto lens and maybe or a night scope, we'd maybe be able to figure out who it was. But thankfully we don't have skunks here like they do at Christie Pitts in Toronto. Of course, with another skunk sighting last night.
Was that a slight towards Christie Pitts?
No, it wasn't just, but there's a family of skunks that live under the press box right at the top of the hill there, and they've been making their appearances more and more known the last couple of games there. So
visibly or
yeah,
otherwise?
Visibly. They actually ran on the field. They had to chase them out off the field in the 8th inning in the London-Toronto game on Wednesday, and I think last night there was actually a skunk delay.
Of all the things I've retained from my childhood, I think one of them is don't chase a skunk.
No.
But we are fortunate that these Hastings Stadium facility is so very well kept and looked after, and obviously after that home opener that was for naught back in May, thanks to a very, very large gust of wind taking down a few trees in the outfield. What a good season it's turned out to be, and that is ball 4, and Nunez continues to struggle. 2 on with Lane Renault to the plate, 1 gone. Ground ball would end the inning, but that remains to be seen, and Nunez just hasn't been able to deliver the pitches when needed. Although has only really given up that home run in terms of earned runs allowed, and has continued to bend but not break, and that's all you can really ask for. And now into the 5th inning, and can quickly get out of here with a good pitch, and Renault fouls the first pitch he sees off. It's 0-1.
Of course, Lane Renault hit for the cycle in this ballpark earlier this season. If you recall, Scotty, he was pleading with the plate umpire to allow him to hit in the 9th inning. He claimed the ball went off the bat, not his hands.
I very much recall that now, but yeah, that's one of those things. 21 home games, things kind of come and go in the memory, and Lane Renault, that was a comical and a rare and maybe a once-in-a-lifetime kind of argument of, no, it didn't hit me. Why is your hand swelling?
If we weren't playing the Cardinals in the playoffs right now, Lane Renault would probably be officially my spirit animal right about now, the way he's been playing this year. Coming up with a lot of clutch hits. No offense, Lane, I don't want one tonight.
Man takes off for third. That's a strike him out and throw him out. No. Louis Jean safe in time into third, and I thought for sure Keys gunned him down with Collymore at the swipe, and that would have brought the inning to an end. But now there's runners on the corner, and Louis Jean 90 feet away from extending this lead, and a bang-bang play goes the Cardinals' way. So Renault down on strikes, and Ryan Burnside, first pitch swing, and pops one up. Collymore underneath it into foul territory. Makes the catch to retire this side. It remains 2-1. The Cardinals leave 2 stranded. We're off to the bottom of the 5th. Welcome back to Hastings Stadium. All 3,000 fans on their feet, and for good reason. A 2-1 ball game, and the meaty part of the lineup due up for the Royals. Malik Collymore leading off. Sean Riley will follow. And then J.D. Williams will bat third in this inning, and it'll be all of these batters' third time seeing Sam Turcotte tonight. That one called on the outside part of the plate. Strike one.
Well, both pitchers have been battling so far to this 5th inning anyways, and it's been a great game so far.
Collymore chops one to third, and it will get through for a base hit. It
Bobbled by the left fielder actually as well, but Collymore could not advance on it. He kept it in front of him anyways.
Lane Renault dove at it. Louis Jean dove at it, and it found its way through for a leadoff single. And that will bring up the inter-county legend of all legends, Sean Riley. I mentioned it time and time again. He was honored before this game started for all of those numerous records that he holds. Home runs, hits, RBIs, a laundry list as long as my arms and legs combined. Riley looking to make an impact here with Collymore at first. Taking off for second, Riley. First pitch swinging to center field. Doesn't look deep enough. It carries to right. Caught. Collymore 180s his way back to first, and Riley just missed that one.
Collymore got such a great lead on, a great jump on that. Riley had to swing. There's one away here.
Collymore, perhaps the best athlete in this Royals lineup, was off with first movement, but yet Riley was swinging to protect the runner on the base path and make sure he didn't get gunned down, and unfortunately just missed that one and flew out to right for out number one. J.D. Williams to the plate. Turcotte deals a first pitch strike on the outside part of the plate, and that has been pretty consistently called strike from home plate umpire Dave Phillips so far this evening. Collymore on his toes at first, might be thinking about second again. He is. He's off. The throw down, not in time. Malik Collymore in there, stealing second with one gone. You kind of see the fingers of Malik Collymore going, and just, it's almost the worst kind of poker face you can have on the base path. But it worked out that time.
Well, last year he led the Frontier League in stolen bases. It set a new season record up there, actually, so not surprised at all. Just
a pure athlete and plays the hot corner defensively and bats clean up for this team, and really a five-tool kind of player, and nobody liked that. I'm sure even some Cardinals didn't like that called strike, as home plate umpire Dave Phillips hears all about it, which has pretty much become a rite of passage here at Hastings Stadium so far this summer. So it's 1-2 with Collymore at first, one down. Turcotte delivers. Collymore off for third, and make it two in a row. Malik Collymore 90 feet away from tying this game.
After your J.D. Williams, you hit one through the right side or hit something in the air. Collymore can tag and score, hopefully, with ease.
And we talked about, it's the third time up for Collymore and Riley and Williams seeing Turcotte. That doesn't just include at the plate. On the base path is equally as important, and Collymore kind of has Turcotte's number in terms of delivery.
Williams definitely trying to do his part here.
Just moments ago. Count even at 2-2, and this crowd antsy for another run. And Terrasano on deck. Collymore at third. Williams chases one high and is down on strikes, and that has really been the story of this ball game. This powerful Royals lineup just not being able to hold their finger off the trigger, chasing a lot of Sam Turcotte's junk out of the zone and kind of striking themselves out, and Justin and Terrasano will look to flip those fortunes around. Juicy, a forever Royal, lifetime Guelph ball player. His dad, Vince, in attendance. And Terrasano fouls one off the first pitch he sees. 0-1.
Need to bring it up. Most of the Royals do have a steal of home against the Cardinals this year. Dalton Pompey A couple Sundays ago, stole home. Wouldn't be
And as
surprised.
mentioned on that story, bumped into Justin and Terrasano's dad, Vince, at the Cudla household earlier for our charity golf tournament for the Hopewell Homes, and support of all those children that need so very much support and looking after. And a shout out to all the boys at the Cudla house who are watching. All 80 of you, cheer on the Royals, get on your feet, and watch Justin and Terrasano do something special. Looks at one to even the count at 1-1.
Sometimes you just got to remind yourself when you're at the plate, hey, I just got to stay within myself, trust my hips, trust my hands here, and, you know.
And a base hit ties this game.
No question it does.
Cuts at one and wanted more than just a base hit, did in Terrasano, but now Turcotte, one good strike away from leaving yet another Royal stranded in scoring position, and this lead intact. The hands of Hastings come together to cheer on Juicy. The 1-2 coming from Turcotte. Swung on. Second to first, out number 3, and yet again, just coming up short. Guelph shooting themselves in the foot with runners in scoring position, and we are still stuck at a 2-1 Hamilton lead. Welcome back to Hastings Stadium. Our plate cam feeling the wrath of the Hastings hands and feet. Once again off kilter, and
Our plate cam's got tilted here, or twisted, depending on how you want to look at it.
either
Remember
or
by the
will
evil
do.
eye.
Can I say cockeyed?
I think you can, but just don't say it too often.
What about that flag out at center field? That one fouled off behind home plate by Bayou, who will
We're just going to let that one go.
fly under the radar. Bayou behind 0-1 after fouling the first pitch he saw from Nunez. Straight back, and Jeffrey Nunez, as maybe not pretty as it's been. He's been effective, and now into the 6th inning. And
he's battled a lot through here. He's figuring out his own problems on the mound, and he's done a really good job here. He deserves a lot more runs that he's got. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And that township that they've left stranded on board all season long is looking for a mayor.
Yep. Hopefully it doesn't turn into a major metropolis anytime soon.
Absolutely. And the last thing we need, and I think if that were the case, then the Royal season would come to a quick close here as yet another runner left aboard and 90 feet from tying this game in the bottom half.
You knew that was a strike right off to hit the second and hit the glove, and that was it.
So back to Nunez as he records a strikeout to open up this inning. What does it do for this guy's confidence after, a bumpy start in this game? Let's not kid ourselves.
He made the adjustments he needed to. He got through that first inning. They got through the second inning with minimal damage. Did some damage control along the way too, but just he knows he's going to go back out and relax. And I think it was probably you can chalk the first 2 innings up to probably nerves. I think the situation he probably wasn't expecting to come here and get game number 1.
Hence the jersey number that is not his normal jersey, which is a telltale sign, and he is settled right in, and he's one of those pitchers that the more you see batters, perhaps it's slightly more in favor of Nunez after he's getting this confidence. And we noticed how quickly he was pitching throughout that first and second inning, and very, very likely due to those nerves that you mentioned. And for a guy like him, just got through it and bend but don't break, and that has to be a strike.
Unfortunately, it's not, as it just misses the inside part of the plate there.
It looked like it danced right back over the heart of the plate, but called the ball to even the count at 2-2. That one fouled off down the first base line, and a grove of young fans in chase of that foul ball.
Of course, something we're trying new this postseason anyways is if the kids turn in the foul ball, they have the option for either some candy or some photographs I've taken. And Garth Fitzgerald's photos are been touched up, some graphics on a few of them anyways. There's a Shine Riley one, there's a Dalton Pompey one, there's a Claudio Custodio with recognizing the 206 strikeouts he got in the regular season. There's one that recognizes the 31 wins.
And rumor has it there is a Neil Sriwasa one in
no, that one didn't
real
make
soon.
the cut.
Real soon, and it's going to be a hot ticket item, and why not? And Garth Fitzgerald, our resident photographer, a fantastic human being and a fantastic photographer, works for the Guelph Griffins, has made me look taller in a number of photos, and that's saying
quite a
something.
feat, and that's another strikeout here as Pappas goes down looking, and there's 2 away.
And to steal your verbiage from between innings, the juju of Jeffrey Nunez seems to be very, very much different now. Back-to-back strikeouts, calm, cool, collected, not that antsy kind of jittery, nervous vibe that we were getting from the earlier innings, and that bodes well for this Royals team. Nunez, as you mentioned, deserves a heck of a lot more run support than he's been given so far in this game.
Claudio Custodio ran into the same thing on Thursday night. It was just the bats seemed like they were just not quite in the funk yet or in sync.
And if you want to look to a guy that knows all about that in a slightly higher level league, Kevin Gossman.
Yep.
The Blue Jays ace, he dealt with that lack of run support for so very long in the spring and into the early months of the summer. Now, the script is kind of flipped, and Gossman's kind of getting the support he deserves. So it's just a matter of time until it comes around, and a team like the Royals, who have so many good batters, are due for a good inning after Ethan Hammond makes the catch out in left field to record out number 3. We're halfway through 6 innings.
can't be serious. Can we leave it at home? Oh. We need to send somebody for it?
Brendan Keys will lead it off here in the home half of the 6th inning, and the Royals have just been snake bitten in terms of leaving base runners stranded, and two ways to look at that. And the positive way is that they are due, and they are due now. Brendan Keys and Sam Turcotte see each other for the 3rd time this evening. Keys grounded into a double play his first time out, and then singled and was left stranded 90 feet from home like so many of him and his compadres in this game. The second time, flies one to left. That one was maybe lost for just a split second in the lights, but ultimately caught and records out number 1.
Not to beat a dead horse, but the Royals left 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. That's the left on base total so far.
And to that point, we talked about it so many times through so many games this year because it's happened so often, but this has to this has to maybe be the largest amount of base runners they've left stranded, and not the time of the year to start doing it more and more. Hammond with no one aboard and 1 down. Looks at one from Turcotte that misses. Ball 1. Hammond hitting 9th, which means Dalton Pompey will be up next. Hammond swings and misses to even the count at 1-1. And
Hammond's 0 for 1. He flew out to right field in the second inning and walked and got left on base in the fourth.
How many Royals have not been left on base tonight?
Well, obviously the correct answer is 1 anyways. We do have a run across.
That one misses. It's 2-1 to Hammond. Turcotte deals. Hammond flares one to foul territory. It falls in there, and Hammond remains alive. Lane Renault was on his horse trying to make that fantastic catch, but was just a step or 3 behind. Much to the delight of Ethan Hammond. Count remains 2-2. Sam Turcotte remains on the hill, and that Cardinals bullpen remains quiet. The 2-2 coming from Turcotte. Hammond backs off it. A good eye. That'll run the count full.
Well, speaking of Hamilton Cardinals manager Jeff Lonsberry yesterday, he wasn't sure who his Game 2 starter was going to be here. I guess he was trying to see if Turcotte and company could steal one here at Hastings.
And perhaps just playing those cards even closer to the chest come this time of year, and why not? And Sam Turcotte has done pretty much everything you could ask for if you're the Hamilton Cardinals. Count remains full. Ethan Hammond looking to find his way aboard for Dalton Pompey will follow. Swings and misses. Sam Turcotte gets Hammond to chase one and go down swinging for out number 2. And Dalton Pompey, for the very 4th time tonight, will go head-to-head with Sam Turcotte. Pompey grounded out his first time out, singled and later scored the Royals' lone run of the game back in the 3rd. Walked and was left stranded at first 2 innings ago. So if my math is correct, he is 1 for 2 with a run scored. Takes one high and outside for ball number 1.
And to answer your question earlier, you asked earlier who hasn't been left on base for the Royals. The answer is Josh Garton. He's the only one that hasn't reached base so far.
I wonder why. Pompey gets a hold of one, but it's right at the second baseman. On to first. 3 up, 3 down for the Royals. They go quietly through the 6th. We're off to 7. crooked home plate cam continues to just cause us nightmares, but it's a sign of one thing, of this Hastings crowd energy has been high and electric through all 6 innings, as has Jeffrey Nunez, who is back into the ball game for his 7th inning of work. That was pitch 102 that was fouled off for Nunez, and far and away, his biggest workload of his IBL career has been on display tonight. And likely, as we said just before this inning got underway, his last inning, and depending on what happens, perhaps maybe not even through all 3 outs. But right now, he's 1 strike away from sitting down the leadoff man and recording out number 1. Van Ray, the number 9 hitter, fouls it off and stays alive, and we'll do it again.
Van Ray 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out 4-3 in the 4th.
DeBanning and Jean also due up, so if Nunez can find a way to sit these 3 guys down.
That pitch just hung up in the zone a little too much, and McLean Van Ray was able to put the bat on that one.
And mid-sentence, I stopped speaking because of obvious reasons, and that task just gets taller for Nunez now, and back to the top of the order, and now a ground ball would be fantastic.
Dennis DeBanning, the batter now. He's 0 for 3. He struck out 3 times so far.
So Nunez has had his number, and that's a strike that DeBanning tried to pull back on, but it didn't matter. Always a tip of the cap for the starting pitcher if you can strike out the leadoff man 3 different times in a game, and that one misses. Seeing if DeBanning will chase. He did not. Counts now even at 1-1. No one gone. Man at first. Hamilton leads 2-1. That one low, and the fans wanted a strike call, but to no avail. DeBanning probably going to make Nunez throw him another strike before he swings the bat again. That is not a strike. That one comes inside on DeBanning, and that'll be a free pass, but a free pass the hard way for DeBanning, who is on his way to first. So now there are runners at first and second. Van Ray at second, DeBanning at first, and Lujan to the plate with no one gone, and a real opportunity for the shortstop to
Well, Jean and Duncan have accounted for 4 of the 6 Cardinals hits this evening, so not the part of the order you can take too lightly here.
No, and being ahead with 2 strikes to the leadoff man, Van Ray, and now all of a sudden the tide has turned 2 on, no one gone, and perhaps the most dangerous base runner and hitter when Jean. That one on to third after Jean tried to bunt. They get the lead runner, and what a play by Jeffrey Nunez. Off the mound the minute he saw Jean square up for the bunt and threw it right, did not hesitate to link up with Malik Collymore to get the lead runner at third. And now a ground ball would be even more fantastic than it was a few minutes ago.
Ground ball gets you out of this one most likely here.
Tyler Duncan will have other thoughts, of course. He did go deep his first time out with that 2-run shot. The only 2 runs that the Cardinals have been able to bring home. However, the good news for Hamilton, Guelph has just scored 1, so Duncan, the difference maker thus far, into the 7th inning. One low for a ball, so 1-0. Duncan slices one to even the count at 1-1.
It does look like somebody might be throwing in the Cardinals bullpen. It's so hard to make it out there in the darkness out there, but
it is oddly dark out there tonight, and
yeah.
I'm not afraid of the dark, but
if that's the case, it most likely is Jose Fernandez, the former Blue Jay, former Buffalo Bison, that might be getting loose down there.
Which is not great news if you're a Royals fan or a Royals hitter here with a 1-run deficit to try to erase. And Duncan at 1-1 with 1 gone, 2 men on. Nunez delivers. Duncan back up the middle. Pompey hauls it in, and there will be No play at the plate. He throws to Morrow, the cutoff man. Hamilton now has a 3-1 lead as DeBannon comes home on that great piece of hitting by Tyler Duncan.
Tyler Duncan just having another great night at the plate here. Reached base all 4 times. He's got 3 of the 4 RBIs, or all 3 of the RBIs for the Cardinals here, as manager Dino Romel is going to come out and have a talk to his pitcher.
Yeah, and obviously with the way Duncan's had success against Nunez tonight, no surprise that he was able to get to him one more time. But again, with a thin bullpen, which all teams are experiencing at this juncture of the season, which is really unfortunate timing, you have to kind of ride your starter a little bit longer, especially in this 5-game series where Game 1 and Game 2 are within 24 hours of each other, and then Game 3 just 48 hours after Game 2. So a lot of baseball to be played in the next few days between these two teams with not a lot of pitching options to choose from, and especially after the Royals had that Thursday night showdown.
And we are going to the bullpen here. I'm not sure who's coming out now, but Jeffrey Nunez's day is done here.
Gets
gives
a
up 3 runs
ovation
on 7 hits.
And a standing ovation, and rightfully so. He looks a little unimpressed with his performance as he shakes his head walking to the dugout. He will be on the hook for Duncan at first, and the runner at second. But nonetheless, Jeffrey Nunez, when called upon, and as we've mentioned numerous times already tonight, unexpectedly.
So we're trying to figure out who's coming in here. Might be Daniel Marquez.
Marquez will come in relief of Nunez, and we will take a quick break as Marquez loosens up, and the Royals will try to shut the Cardinals down. 1 gone here in the top. So once again, my eyes have deceived me. Emily Guerrero into the game, not Danny Marquez. With 2 runners on, Louis Jean at second. And 1 gone here. And Lane Renault at the plate. Tyler Duncan at first. That one dances and catches the outside part of the plate, makes it 1-1. And Guerrero, who is potentially slotted to start in one of the next few games now, probably out at the question for that, depending on how deep he goes into this game. Makes for an interesting setup for Dino Romel over the next 72 hours or so.
Yeah, well, Brandon Deans is expected to get the start tomorrow, so we'll have to see if that's still the plan. Claudio Custodio obviously not available, probably till at the earliest Tuesday. Likely even Wednesday. We'll have to see.
And if it were up to Claudio, that would not be the case.
No, exactly. He'd take the ball right now.
Guerrero ahead 1-2. Double checks, triple checks. Second. And there Renault gets a hold of one and flares it to right field.
They're going to wave him home here, and that's going to score another huge run for the Cardinals. And that's 4-1.
Louis Jean with that speed and acceleration wasn't even thinking about stopping at third and adds another one on. And it's 4-1 Hamilton, and a bit of shock and awe here at Hastings Stadium. A rare occasion that they trail by any amount of runs, never mind 3 here on home field in the 7th inning. Not to mention it is game 1 of a best-of-5 in the quarterfinals, and this team that has so much potential and so much belief that they can win a championship. Not starting off on the right foot, and not to make excuses, but that Thursday night tiebreaker game really seems to be causing a ripple effect here.
It's definitely an emotional hangover.
That one chopped to Garton at second, and he is wiped out, and that is not an easy thing to do. That just seemed like an unintentional collision, and Garton got the worst of that. He did not see the base runner coming, and he got the brunt of that collision. And again, Josh Garton, a big man, but was kind of off balance and bent over and in a vulnerable position. Nothing you want to see if you're a Royal or a baseball fan or a human being. As Lacey's out there to check on Garton. I believe the base runner was Lane Renault, who went right back to check on Garton after the collision. So no ill will and no ill intentions from.
No, it's just
Renault.
an unfortunate contact play. They are going to call the runner out on interference and put the runner back at third base here.
Garton and Renault hug it out, and again, obviously just a baseball play that went awry. And at first, Garton kind of seemed to be in la land.
Yep.
Not quite sure if he was just caught off guard or
definitely some
something
knee-on-knee
else,
contact the way he's walking it off gingerly here. The base umpire asked or explained to Renault why he is out there on the contact. So the runner is out. The base runner is awarded first base, and the runner at third. Two out.
So 2 gone now here in the 7th inning. So 2 gone, and runners at the corners, and we will
Runners
wait
at the corners.
for, I believe, Tyler Duncan, who was occupying third base, to make his way back. And I was sharing a little bit of a haircut story with Neil between innings that I went to clip my around the ears and do a cleanup job, and I forgot to put the guard on. But Tyler Duncan seems to be sporting just about the same look.
Yeah. You guys have the same barber?
Homemade haircuts coming to a bathroom near you, intentional or not. That one misses for a ball. So Garton remains in the game. We'll see if that rings true after this inning comes to a close. There are 2 gone. That one fouled off to even the count at 1-1. Feu at the plate. Swings and chases. A great pitch from Emily Guerrero for strike 2. That was a fantastic throw from the Royals relief man. See if he can provide a carbon copy of that one and get himself out of this inning. It's 4-1 Cardinals with 2 gone, and oh my. Does not get it. Must have been just a hair high of the zone, says home plate umpire David Phelps.
We got 2 and 2.
2-2. Deuce, 2 gone, 2 on. And a 2-2 count. Delivers outside and low. Count is now full. And it's those little things that, whether or not they go your way or not, it can change the outcome and kind of the trajectory of this ball game. And now Guerrero with a count run full, looking for one more strike. Bayou fights it off and fouls it behind the Cardinals dugout. We'll do it again. Hands of Hastings coming together to cheer on Emily on the mound. Delivers. Bayou again fouls it off behind the Cardinals dugout and stays alive. And again, the hands. Runners on the corners. Emily Guerrero misses the strike zone right down the middle of the plate.
Guerrero thought he was done. He was walking off the mound. As were a few other Royals. And Robin Fox-Pappas be done.
Number 44, Robin Fox-Pappas.
Home plate umpire David Phillips thought otherwise and is now public enemy number 1.
Phillips didn't make any fans in Kitchener last night either, including, and Jackfish manager Brian Essery.
So at least he's consistent. That one swung on and missed for a strike. It's 0-1. Chop to third, but foul. 0-2 now. Mark Graham gets the Hastings hands together, and yet again, Guerrero, one strike away. Sets, winds, delivers. Outside, it's 1-2. Keys pump fake down to first base, but Justin and Terrasano nowhere near the bag. Bases remain loaded. Count is 1-2. Off the plate and low, 2-2. Guerrero just trying to get Fox-Pappas to chase anything or everything now, and Fox-Pappas wiser for the moment. 2-2 coming. Chopped back up the middle. Connor Morrow should be able to make an easy play to Garton, and does. That is out number 3. The Cardinals tack 2 more on. We're halfway through 7 from Hastings. It's Hamilton 7, Dory Torres into the game in relief of Sam Turcotte, who threw 6 strong innings. And has a 4-1 lead, does Torres, as he welcomes himself into this game and has to face Connor Morrow, who laces one down the third baseline past Lane Renault for a leadoff single. And that ignited this crowd, Neil. Hastings Stadium crowd now on their feet and alive.
Looks like we got a pinch hitter coming in for Josh Garton here.
So Garton's night after that collision has come to an end, which was perhaps the fear. I'm assuming, one would assume it would be Jeff McLeod maybe for the pinch hitter, and then, or doesn't seem to be though. We will stand by as Malik Collymore loosens up. It might be Darius Barless by the look of it. Tough to see from this angle, and it certainly is Darius Barless.
Pinch hitting number 4, Darius Barless.
Barless, who filled in at first base when Terrasano went down and found a whole heap of confidence, not only defensively but at the plate, now being called upon in relief of Josh Garton, who collided with Lane Renault in the top half of the inning. And Barless in a huge juncture in this ball game, and you wonder if this is perhaps a bit of insider trading from Dino Ramel, if he knows if Barless has Torres' number based on past at bats. Looks at strike one. That one well off the plate to even the count. Morrow at first. Collymore loosening up on deck. Barless lays off one. It's 2-1. A very good eye, and making Torres throw strikes is Darius Barless so far.
Royals have stranded 10 runners on base so far this evening.
Barless hits one to left center field. That might find a hole. No. Hauled in there.
The air again
Great
there.
Display of speed from DeBanning to get there and make the catch. And it looked like there was a whole heap of real estate between the left fielder and the center fielder there that evaporated very
just
quickly.
hung up there a little too long.
Nonetheless, some good contact from Barless as the pinch hitter, and now there's one down. Morrow remains at first, and Malik Collymore now up, and Sean Riley on deck. Riley, if Collymore can get aboard, would represent the tying run. Collymore has to find a way to get aboard here. Lays off one that is a ball. And to the pleasure of the Hastings crowd, Collymore is ahead 1-0. Morrow inching ever closer to second. That one gets past the catcher. Connor Morrow will be into second and thinking
That'll be a wild pitch on the scoring.
And that is something that the Royals will have to keep in the back of their mind. Torres seeming a little bit shaky out there to start his evening, and that could bode all kinds of good things for Guelph if they're able to get to the relief man for the Cardinals. So Morrow now in scoring position with one down. Collymore ahead with a 2-0 count. That one low, and now Malik Collymore will likely make Dory Torres throw him a strike.
Especially in this situation, you got to see one before you can
Absolutely.
swing at one here.
Absolutely. And that is a strike, and now it's 3-1. Sean Riley will most likely get his chance in this inning. I don't want to jinx it or say something that might ring untrue eventually or guarantee it. Collymore high and deep to left field. Forget about it. A 2-run shot makes it a 4-3 ball game for Malik Collymore and the Guelph Royals. And Hastings is hot.
Your feet for Malik
Collymore got the pitch up in the zone and made the ball fly out of here in a hurry.
There was no doubt about it. By the crack of the bat, the left fielder didn't even turn on it. Malik Collymore took off, and I think he sprinted around those bases faster than anyone between the 5th inning.
Sean Riley.
And Murderer's Row continues with Sean Riley and Tsunami blaring through the Hastings speakers.
The Hamilton Cardinals might have accidentally awoken the Giants here.
Dory Torres probably has the weight of the world on his shoulders. Riley swings at one and looking to quickly tie this ball game, but just underneath it. And I know what everyone's hoping for, and it would be a special moment to witness. Riley now behind 0-1, steps out, adjusts those gloves.
If he hits it out of this ballpark, I'm pretty sure they're going to hear you in Hamilton.
Hear me.
Yeah, and everybody else. As Riley's check swings on that one and pops it up.
For out number 2.
The right fielder, number 9, J.D. Williams.
Williams comes to the plate, 1 for 3, a pair of strikeouts and a single. Hit the Space Bar's toast. So Williams swings and misses that one.
Williams now quickly behind 0-2. Off the plate, it's 1-2. Williams breaks his bat, and that will find its way past the second baseman. So the broken bat comes in clutch for the Royals, and J.D. Williams, who keeps this inning alive.
Let's keep it loud for the first baseman, number 24, Justin Terrasano.
And Justin Terrasano will look to find a way to get Collymore even closer, if not, to home. 2 gone here. Torres has had a bit of a shaky start to his evening. 2 runs already across home. After that Malik Collymore home run, and Terrasano checked his swing, but that is a called strike number 1.
Not enough of emotion to convince the plate umpire he was going around there.
Went outside, seeing if Williams was thinking about getting to second. That will even the count at 1-1. One coming, and that runs inside, and now the Royals rather have runners at first and second. And Brendan Keys with a crucial job to complete here. Catcher who has done so many good things in this ball game, both offensively and defensively. We'll have to wait, as Dory Torres will have a quick conference on the mound with the entire infield, including the Cardinals manager, as they huddle up.
Can't make it who's warming up in the Cardinals bullpen here, but
it looks like Torres
probably
will remain in the game
two guesses,
for the time
it might
being.
be Stefan Strecker and it might be Jose Fernandez. Depends on which way they're going to go here.
So Keys with runners at first and second. 2 gone. And a 1-run deficit to try to erase here in game 1 of this best of 5 between Hamilton and Guelph. Torres, that one, a hot shot off the first baseman. Torres over to cover and in time for out number 3. Brendan Keys tried to leg it out to no avail. The Royals leave 2 stranded, but not before Malik Collymore drove himself and another runner in to make this an instant classic. We're off to the 8th. It's 4-3 Hamilton.
Leading off for Hamilton, the right fielder, number 5, Jacob Underwood.
Welcome back to Hastings Stadium. Top of the 8th inning, the Guelph Royals trailing the Hamilton Cardinals 4-3. Emily Guerrero will face Jacob Underwood to start things off. So we check the Outertown scoreboard quickly. Welland Jackfish all over the Kitchener Panthers 8-2. Looks like that series will complete tonight. Maple Leafs won 5-3 as Underwood comes through with a leadoff single here on the first pitch he sees.
Darius Barlas, who came into this game to hit for Josh Garton, also fills in for Garton at second base. After that leadoff single, we have a slight delay. Time called by the umpire, not quite sure why. But it looks like we are ready to roll here.
Maple Leafs winning over the Bay Area Baycats this afternoon, 6-3. They lead that series 2-0. London all over Brantford is 14-0. That looks like it's going to be 2-0 for the Majors as well.
Runner at first, Guerrero checks. 1-0 coming. Showing bunt, but couldn't pull back in time. Evens the count at 1-1. One on his jersey, I'm pretty sure, but I can't find it for you. Count even at 1-1. That one popped and poked and foul.
That's 1-2 here. Tim McLean Van Ray.
One fouled off, and we'll do it again at 1-2 here.
The Royals need Emily Guerrero to get them a quick outs here. Get their bats a chance to get back in, and when they're down their last 6 outs here in the first game of the quarterfinal series as he goes swinging outside there. And there is one away now.
Left fielder number 19, Dennis Devaney.
Dennis DeBanning back to the top of the order, making his way back to the batter's box for his 4th go at it this evening. With 1 gone and 2 runners on at first and second. Excuse me, 1 runner on at first. Pardon me. DeBanning swings at the first one he sees from Guerrero and misses. This is the first time that DeBanning has seen Guerrero in this game. One call to strike to make it 0-2.
DeBanning having a rough night. He's 0 for 3. He got hit by a pitch and scored a run, though, in the 7th.
The 0-2 coming. Punches him out for his 4th strikeout of the night for DeBanning, and perhaps a delayed punch out, but nonetheless they all count, and there's 2 down. And that is huge for Emily Guerrero and the Royals. But the bad news is Louis Jean making his way back to the plate, and far and away the most dangerous Cardinal in their lineup so far tonight, and really most of this entire season. Guerrero and Keys will
John and Duncan
look
doing a
to
lot
give
of the
their
damage
best.
today.
One off the plate, 1-0. I think the fans, after getting a favorable called strike 3 with the last batter, are seeing if they can try their luck yet again. No luck this time. It's 1-0. Guerrero deals. Jean takes a strike and doesn't like it.
No is definitely an international word. That's for sure. You can hear Jean clear as a bell on that pitch. Arguing with the plate umpire, it was not a strike.
Count is 1-1 now. Guerrero checks the man at first and delivers to Jean at the plate. Chops one. Guerrero and Keys both go to it. Down to first to Terracino in time. That is a huge inning from Emily Guerrero and Brendan Keys. One that the Royals needed oh so desperately to keep the momentum alive. We are off to the bottom half of the 8th. And the Royals looking to bring home at least 1 in a rate.
fielder, number 28, Ethan Hammond.
Ethan Hammond will lead it off in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Jose Fernandez into the game on the mound for the Cardinals. Hammond will be followed by Pompey and Connor Morrow. So a huge matchup to begin this bottom of the 8th, and then it only gets bigger from there as the Royals look to erase this one-run deficit. It's 4-3 Hamilton as we are set to get the bottom of the 8th inning underway. I want a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Hammond falls behind Fernandez right away. Lefty on lefty here. Pompey, the switch hitter, will go righty when he does get his chance. Hammond waves at that one, and it was a good-looking swing, but a better-looking pitch to make it 0-2. Fernandez sets, winds, delivers the 0-2 off the plate. 1-2. Two off the plate as well, so now it's 2-2. Fernandez jumped out real quick, 0-2, but now has missed on the both of the previous two pitches. So Pompey getting maybe a longer look at Fernandez before he makes his way to the batter's box, which will be momentarily after Ethan Hammond swings and misses at strike number 3, and Dalton Pompey on his way to the plate and looking to give this Royals crowd and all of Guelph something to cheer about with one swing of the bat. Two former Blue Jays going head-to-head. With one gone here in the bottom of the 8th, Fernandez sets and delivers. High and inside, and maybe a bit of a statement to Dalton. Pompey laughs it off, of course, and no harm, no foul. It's 1-0. 1-0 coming. Cut on, and perhaps a proposed statement from Pompey back the other way. Unable to make contact, and now the count is 1-1 with one gone, and Connor Morrow watching patiently. That one bounces and gets away, but no one aboard, so it'll just be a ball. It's now 2-1. Two one coming from Fernandez. Swung on and missed again by Dalton Pompey. The count is now even at 2-2. And it looks like Fernandez might be reaching back for a little bit extra. And the same could be said for Pompey in this at bat. The 2-2 brings all 2,891 Hastings crowd to their feet. Pompey swings and misses. Fernandez strikes him out.
The shortstop, number 2, Connor Morrow.
Connor Morrow now will look to make something happen here with two gone, and Royals 4 outs away from letting game 1 slip away should things not change in a hurry. Morrow steps in. Fernandez sets and deals. High and inside, just like he did to Pompey, perhaps establishing that inside part of the plate early and often. Fernandez, the 1-0. Swung on and tipped foul by Morrow, and it's now 1-1. Fernandez takes his time, and as does Morrow. Now they're ready to go. The 1-1 coming. Morrow lays off it, and a good job to do so. It's 2-1. Morrow takes one, and it's called a strike to even the count at 2-2. Strike zone seems to be kind of fluid at this moment, but nonetheless, count even 2-2, 2 gone here, bottom 8. Morrow looking to make something happen. Swings and misses. Jose Fernandez strikes him out, and I think Connor Morrow finally broke the blue bat. The Royals go down in order. We are off to the 9th inning. Hamilton still with that 4-3 lead. Tyler Duncan will lead it off here in the top of the 9th, and Andrew Case into the ball game for the Royals. In a rare situation for Case in his Royals tenure. He normally the closer and a save opportunity. This neither. Strike one called on Tyler Duncan.
Duncan, of course, 3 for 3 with a walk, a home run, a double, a single.
So triple shy of the cycle.
3 RBIs here.
Duncan offers at Case's second pitch, but can't make good contact. It's fouled off. It's now 0-2. The 0-2 coming from Case. Called strike 3, sits down Tyler Duncan, the hottest hitter in the Hamilton lineup this evening. Andrew Case made quick work of him. There's one away. Lane Renault now. We'll see if he can find a way to get some success, as Case may be in some discomfort, as the athletic therapist Lacey on her way out to the mound along with Dino Ramel and the home plate umpire, and Brendan Keys will join. Case is a gamer, so if it's nothing serious, he will remain in, and it looks like he wants to do just that. Not sure what the discomfort he was feeling was, but All has been checked, and we will continue on with Case on the mound. That is all good news for the Royals with Lane Renault.
Renault is
ready
1
to
for
get
4 on the
his
contest. He's got the Eder RBI that Tyler Duncan was not able to cash in.
That one misses. It's 1-0 now. 1-0 coming from Case. That's a strike. Lane Renault waves at one, offers up his best swing, and not up to the task that time. And it's strike two, and Andrew Case is dealing. Quickly becoming a folk hero here in the Royal City is Case, and that is exactly why. Absolute smoke. Throwing from the pride of PEI for out number 2.
Number 50, Ryan Burnside.
And it's outs like that that can give your hitter some momentum and can make good things happen in the bottom half of this 9th inning. In case one more out needed before that can happen, though. That's another first pitch strike from Andrew Case. And I feel like one of those action figures that you pull a string and just say the same 3 terms over and over and over again. That one wisely held off on. Count now even at 1-1. That's a strike again. Building becoming more and more lively. Case wanted it. Every single Royal City citizen wanted it.
Sometimes it just doesn't go your way there, pitch.
Counts 2-2. Swung on and missed. Andrew Case with another K. 3 up, 3 down for the Royals. Steady Eddie Andrew Case. We're off to the bottom of the 9th. Darius Barless, Malik Collymore, and Sean Riley due up here in the bottom of the ninth, and 1 run needed to tie it and 2 to win it for the Guelph Royals, who have stuck around in this ball game. Hamilton really controlled the earlier innings, but it's been all Royals of late. Andrew Case putting that on display in the top of the ninth inning. 3 up, 3 down for the former Blue Jays farmhand, who is settled right in here to the Royal City. Barless swings and misses at the first pitch he sees from Fernandez. It's 0-1. Collymore on deck. He did provide the second and third run of this game for the Royals, who need at least 1 more from Collymore, Riley, or Barless, or all 3 to get out of game 1 with a win. Collymore went deep his last time out with a 2-run shot. Barless pops one up and out of play. Malik Collymore looked over at Barless and said, "You just missed it." It's 1-2 here. Fernandez was near untouchable in the 8th. That one high and inside, and another theme from the 8th inning, and Fernandez continues into the 9th with that pitch. 2-2 now. Barless tries to cut at it, but just can't catch up. That's swung on and missed for out number 1.
The third baseman, get loud for number 35, Malik Collymore.
Malik Collymore to the plate, as mentioned, did go high and deep in his last at bat to cut that deficit from 4-1 to 4-3, and would love nothing more than to catch one of Fernandez's fastballs fat. Swings and can't make contact, 0-1. Maybe a bit of tomfoolery on that first pitch. Fernandez efficient and effective so far for the Cardinals. That one off the plate to even the count at 1-1. A frame job behind home plate did not sell it as a strike. Collymore laid off, and the count is even at 1-1 between Collymore and Fernandez. Sean Riley is next. Collymore swings and can't catch up to that one, much like Barless. It's now 1-2, and frustration coming from the Royals' third baseman as he takes a quick sigh and lap out of the batter's box and will reset. It's 1-2, 1 down. Fernandez to Collymore, swings and misses. The Royals are down to their final out. The silver lining is the Golden Slugger.
Number 33, Sean Riley.
Player who has been in this moment time and time again and delivered time and time again, has a real opportunity to add another moment to a lifetime of moments just like these in a career that is coming to an end after the playoffs do conclude for the Royals. We're looking to tie game 1 here. It's 4-3. Fernandez deals. Riley steps back. I thought it maybe went off Riley, but I think it went off the catcher's glove, so it is just a ball. Riley didn't look too impressed with the pitch. But again, just add it to the storybook if something special happens here. .1-0 coming. Low and inside. Riley takes it. It's 2-0. You really couldn't write a better matchup with 2 gone in a 1-run ball game in the bottom of the ninth. Jose Fernandez, Sean Riley, 2-0. Riley cuts at one, and my oh mine out of his boots, but just a wee bit late on it. It's 2-1. 2 gone, 2-1 count, 1-run ball game, bottom 9th. Riley fouls it off and just underneath, and it's been a night full of those for the Royals who've just missed a number of times. The count's 2-2, and all of the Hastings faithful now on their feet and encourage Sean Riley here with a strike to go for Fernandez and a whole different plan for Guelph and Guelph Royals and Sean Riley specifically. Here we go, 2-2, Riley swings and misses. Fernandez strikes him out, and the Hamilton Cardinals take game 1. 4-3 is the final score. We will go down Highway 6 for game 2 tomorrow. Thank you so very much for joining us this evening. On behalf of Neil Sriwasa and everyone else here at Hastings Stadium, I'm Scott Fraser saying thank you and good night.